Conditional formatting is a great way to highlight different values depending on what you want to stand out and communicate to your audience. And you can do a lot of things with conditional formatting, from identifying what day is today to being able to use custom formulas to show specific things. For example, let's say we want to flag any day that's equal to the month that's listed above. You can see right here, that's what we did. Or if you want to flag any weekend, or if you want to format it based off of a value in a different cell, or let's say you want to alternate colors based off of the year that the date falls in, or let's say you want to highlight the top 5 values or the bottom 5 values, or you want to highlight duplicate values. You can do all of this with custom conditional formatting formulas. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to do all of those. And by the end of the video, you should be able to understand custom conditional formatting to be able to tweak it to however you'd like. If you haven't subscribed already, don't forget to subscribe, and let's dive in. All right, so let's say on our task tracker, we want to format the task based on the progress of the task. So for example, if it's marked as pending, it's formatted one way. If it's marked as next week, it's formatted another way, and so forth. What we'll do is select the first cell that we want to format. So for example, in this case, it's B3, and then go all the way down to the end of the column. And you can hold down Command Shift and press the arrow, and that will get you all the way down there. We'll go to Format, Conditional Formatting. And if you didn't go all the way down to the end of the column, you can simply adjust the range right here. So for example, I could simply delete the rows, and now it goes all the way through the end of B. If you go to Format Cell as If, there's a lot of built-in functions that allow you to conditional format super easily for the cell that you're looking at. But if you're trying to look at a cell that's in a different range, then we want to go down to the very bottom and select Custom Formula Is. And with this, you're going to put a value or a formula. So a value could be equals to 1 million or something like that. Or a formula could be something that we're defining. So it could be a yes or no. It could be a month. It could be something that we're trying to define. In this case, we're trying to define where column C is equal to pending. So for this example, I'm going to type equals C3 equals quote pending quote. So now you can see that since C3 is pending, and it shows this green color because that's what defaults when you're setting up a formula. Now, one important thing to know is that you need to make sure that the row that you're referencing matches the starting of the row. For example, if I were to say C1, now everything's going to be shifted down 3. So even though this one doesn't say pending, it's still highlighted. That's because it's going to take the value and then it's going to shift it however many gaps there are. In this case, there's 2 gaps between the rows that we're looking at and the rows that we're applying the range to. So it's going to shift things down. So super important. You need to make sure that the rows match for the range and for the cell reference that you start with. Since this cell is not anchored in with $signs to make it an absolute reference, it's going to shift down automatically. So when it looks for B4, it's going to look at C4 and so forth. So that's why even though we only have C3 listed, it's filtering down every single time, and it's looking to see if there's a pending value. So everything's working exactly as we want. I don't want this fill color, so I'm going to select that and hit none. Then I'm going to select the text. I'm going to make this a dark green color. And let's go ahead and make that bold. So as you can see, whenever we have pending in the progress, it's going to give us a dark green color. Now I'll hit done. Now, another thing that's important to know is if you select the entire range. So for example, if I had A all the way down through E, if I hit done, it's going to shift that over to right here. You can't see it too well since it's in a dropdown, but instead of it applying to column B, it's going to apply to column A. Now, if you wanted to, you could anchor in the column with a $sign. So that way it's looking at column C. And then everything in that row within this range is going to be formatted instead of just that one column. So you can see that this is formatted, this is formatted, this is formatted, this is formatted, and this is formatted. So everything's being formatted based off of that. Now, if I accidentally anchored in the row as well, it's going to anchor in everything based off of this one single value. So for example, if I put not started, it's not going to have any formatting. But if I put this as pending, it's going to format the entire sheet. So if you're not familiar with cell anchoring, absolute references, relative references, things like that, make sure you understand that because that is important when it comes to conditional formatting. But that's essentially the gist of it. If you want everything to shift and it's only for one column, simply put that column and leave everything without $signs. And if you want to highlight an entire row, then you can put a $sign in front of the column and apply it to however many columns you want. And if you want to do multiple conditions super quickly, for example, let's say we want to format next week, I can click add another rule and it will duplicate this rule. So now instead of having to do everything from scratch, I can simply put next week and make sure that's inside quotes. I can update the formatting. So let's say I want to have it a red color and I want it to have a strike through. And now I hit done. So now whenever I mark a task as next week, that formatting will be applied. Now let's say we want to format a calendar where whenever a date matches the date that's in the header, aka the month that we're looking at, then it's going to apply formatting. And if it doesn't meet that date, then it's not going to apply formatting. Let me show you how this works. So I'm going to select all of column H through N, go to Format, Conditional Formatting. In the drop down, I'll go down to Custom Formula Is, then type equals month, open parentheses, $H, $1, close parentheses, equals month, open parentheses, H1, close parentheses. I'll format this however I'd like, so I'm going to make this dark green color, make the font white, and hit done. Now, when I do this, you can see that we have August 1st right here. That matches August, so that's why it's populating. We have July 31st right here. That is not in August, so that's why it's not populating. If I were to double click on this and select, let's say September, for example, that's going to shift automatically, so I don't have to update the formatting each time a month changes over. Now let's break down this formula. If you remember from my last example, whenever there's a $sign, it's going to have an absolute reference. So in this case, we're looking at H1. And we don't want it to move. We want to always look at H1, whether it's looking at cell H3, H12, K14, whatever. Whenever it looks at all of those, we want it to always reference H1. And that's why there's a $sign in between both of them. Now, at the end, this one doesn't have a $sign. And that's because we want this to shift down. So what this is going to do is going to compare cell H1 to cell H1. And then obviously, since it's the same cell, it's always going to match. Then it's going to look at H2. And we're going to see if it matches with H1. It doesn't, so that's why it's not formatted. It's going to do the same thing all the way through column H. It's going to do the same thing all the way through column I, and all the way until it reaches N57. And that's possible because there is no $sign before H or before 1. So everything's exactly as we want. Now you can see right here we don't have any formatting because there is no date. So since this is fixed, you can simply click on fill handle, click on the dropper, and select the same date. Let's go ahead and make the text white as well, so that way it's nice and formatted with it. To make these kind of muted, you can go ahead and format those as well. So I'm going to select all of the week. I'm going to make this kind of have a light gray background and kind of a grayed text. So that way you can see that it's there, but it's not actually doing anything. Now, even though I've formatted both of these with this same formatting, conditional formatting is always going to trump any standard formatting that's on the field. So if I were to select all this week, click on Paint, click the next week, you'll see that it's still formatted with all the greens. But that's a good way in case things shift to make sure that you have proper formatting and cohesive formatting. So that way if one month has different week structure than the other month, it's all going to be the same. Perfect, so that's all good to go. Now, like I said, there's a lot of built-in formulas that are great as well. So for example, let's say we want to highlight today's date. I'll go into our range, click add another rule, and then instead of a custom formula, we're simply going to say date is today. Let's make this have a yellow color and a black font. Now hit done. Now today is August 3rd, but nothing's happening. That's because it will format based off whatever the result that it hits first, and it will not continue. So in order to prioritize how you want it, you can simply drag it in the right order. And now you can see we have today's date being flagged as yellow. And then since everything else isn't formatted, it's flowing down to that next rule to make it green. All right, now let's say we want to make it where it flags the weekend. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this rule. I'm going to do another custom formula. This time I'm going to say equals weekday, open parentheses, H1, comma 2, close parentheses, is greater than 6. Now what this is going to do is going to look at every single cell, and it's going to look to see if it's a date. If it is a date, it's going to determine what day of the week it is. Now the standard weekday is starting on Sunday. But since I have this 2 in here, instead of it starting on Sunday, it starts on Monday. And that should actually be greater than or equal to 6. So that's what allows the formula to be greater than or equal to 6. So weekday 6 would be a Saturday, and weekday 7 would be a Sunday. If it was with the standard formula, then weekday 1 would be a Sunday, and weekday 7 would be a Saturday. So that's why we're doing it this way. Now let's go ahead and add some coloration, and let's press done. Now you can see right here, we have a bunch of red in the blanks, and we have red for the weekends for not this month, but just like last time, we need to drag this up so that way it applies to this month. Now, this looks messy. We don't want to have all of the different red. So let's go ahead into one of the rules, duplicate it, and we're going to simply change this to is empty, hit none, and none. So now if I drag this to the very top, if the cell is empty, then it's going to be blank. If it's not empty, then it's going to go through every single one of these options. So with this, we have all of our different weekends highlighted in red. We have today's date highlighted in gold, and then we have every single day that's affiliated with the month selected in green, and anything that's in a previous month or a later month is just in gray. Let's say I want to fast forward to October of 2025. I can select that, and everything is formatted just as we expected. Now let's say you have a list of dates, and it's kind of hard to read where this kind of changes over. So what you can do is you can highlight it based off of the year, whether it's odd and whether it's even. So I'll start with B4 and select some of the cells going down. Go to add another rule, and I'm going to adjust this range to go all the way through the end of column B. With the drop down, I'm going to select custom formula is, and we're going to type equals is even, open parentheses, year, open parentheses, B4, close parentheses, close parentheses. So now if the year is even, then it's going to format. If it's not even, it's not going to format. And once again, remember I have this starting in row 4 and I have the range starting in row 4 as well, so that's why it's aligning perfectly. So let's go ahead and change this color to whatever I want it to be. Let's put it right here. Now I'm going to duplicate this to add another rule, and I'm simply going to change this to odd. So now if it's odd, it's going to be formatted a different way. And if it's even, it's going to be formatted a different way. Now with is odd, it also factors in any blanks. So we're going to do this one more time, add another rule. And just like last time, is empty. We'll have no formatting, hit done, and we'll drag this to the top. And now we have everything that is an even number in one color, everything that's an odd number in another color, and anything that's blank is empty. Now let's say you have a list of people and you want to see if there's any duplicates listed. You can simply select all of column B, go to Format, Conditional Formatting. We'll use Custom Formula Is, and type equals count if, open parentheses, B:B, so all of column B, comma, B1, and once again, make sure that the row matches the row in the range. Close parentheses is greater than 1. So what this is going to do is it's going to compare each one of these starting in row 1, so B1, then B2, B3, and so forth. And it's going to count how many times they appear in all of column B. If it's more than once, then we're going to highlight it with a specific color. So let's say I want to have these as orange and hit done. So now I can simply filter by color, fill color, light orange, and you can see that Finian O'Connell and Vivian Shadow are both listed on here twice. So that's why they're flagging as duplicates. All right, now let's say we have a list of sales and you want to highlight the top 5 sales and the bottom 5 sales for whatever is filtered. And you want to make it dynamic so that way you can filter by different industries. So for example, instead of software, I could select tech, or instead of the US, I could select Australia. And I could also change the dates. And we wanted to dynamically update the formatting for the top and the bottom 5 values. Starting in B2, we're going to select a few items, then go to Format, Conditional Formatting. We'll go all the way through the end of column B. Then with the dropdown, select Custom Formula Is, and we're going to type equals B2 is greater than or equal to large, open parentheses, $B, $2, colon, $B, comma, 5. Close parentheses. Now once I click off of that, I can go ahead and format this. So let's say we want to have anything that's top in green. Let's make it have a white font. So now you can see we have all of the top 5 values formatted with this green color. Now let's go ahead and duplicate this. Now I'm going to change large to small, and instead of greater than or equal to, I'm going to put less than or equal to. We're going to make this have a red color and hit done. And now you can see in this table in column B, we have the top and the bottom all flagged in their appropriate colors. Now if I go down to the very bottom, you can see that all of the different blanks are equal to red. So we're going to do one more thing, add another rule to duplicate it, and we're simply going to put is empty. And we're going to format it as nothing, just like we have in the past. We'll bring it to the top, and now all the red's gone away, but all the formatting still remains with the top 5 and the bottom 5. But like I mentioned, let's say instead of looking at January, we want to look at February. So I'll select February 1st through February 28th. And let's say we want to look at the UK and fashion. So now you can see that the top 5 are still highlighted and the bottom 5 are still highlighted, no matter what filters you put. So that's a great way to make it dynamic. So that's a couple of ideas to show how you can use conditional formatting with custom formulas to achieve what you want to highlight. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. Let me know if you have any questions, and like and comment for more.